Hello out there and welcome to yet another episode of the Bonsai Balcony following the seasons. We are in autumn here at the Bonsai Balcony, and as you can see around, the colors are popping up everywhere, also in this balcony and the trees within it. I will be talking about a little bit of what I have done in the trees around here at the Bonsai Balcony, as well as styling some trees, preparing some trees to go into dormancy. Also, as I will do in a normal garden, I will prepare the trees for the winter season. I will be building a cold frame for the winter. It's late October and it's pretty hot today, 19 degrees Celsius. So that's why I'm not wearing almost anything on me. But the last 2 years has been very cold in this point of time, but we will see how it evolves. Just as I will do in a normal garden, I have just shut down the fertilization process in the deciduous trees. The only trees that receive fertilizer are junipers and pine. But the thing in the late autumn is that there will be a lot more wind and a lot more lack of sun. That's why I will be building the cold frame, and I will show that cold frame. All normal trees, including shohin trees, will get a little bit frost, because that's the way I encourage my trees and train them to go into dormancy properly. They will not be receiving a lot of frost, but maybe 1 or 2 nights of frost. That will be enough for the shohin trees. Maybe 4 nights with frost for the bigger trees. And after that I will be protecting my trees properly through the winter. But just let us hope that in a flash we can just transform the Bonsai Balcony into a cold frame. In the mid-October we had the visit of Peter Warren at a workshop here in Copenhagen, and I had the privilege to participate in this workshop with this Pinus sylvestris, which I styled there. I learned a lot this day, and this is the result of the styling of this tree. It took a while to decide what to do with this tree because it has a very strong top. I didn't work with this tree for a long time, since the last repot, nearly 2 years ago. So it just grow, and then the top became more and more stronger, leading this little but rather important branch much weaker than it should be. We are looking forward for the next guest, which will be Mauro Stenberger from Italy. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't have any trees that match the sizes of which Mauro likes to work with, but I will see what I can find for this day that I'm really looking forward to it in June, in the summer. The cold frame is done. Wow, it is really cold now, just 9 degrees colder, so 10 degrees now compared to just a second ago. Just summarizing what I have done here to get to this point is cleaning all the trees that needed to, give all the trees lime sulfur. Yes, lime sulfur here before the cold starts. It's because most of the trees are already inside the cold frame now. As well as the trees, I've also cleaned all the surfaces of the cold frame. The plates has been soaked in soap, the potential of getting fungus is just gone. So another thing I've done is preparing the cold frame to get to this point now. So it has been a lot of work, but this is the work I do 2 times a year, and this is the way it is to have bonsais on a balcony and making them thrive. So also because of the potential of storm, it is a very flat land, Denmark, so we get pretty much every year a little storm in here. I have also been giving the trees frost so that the trees can get properly into sleep. The deciduous trees as well as the evergreen trees get frost no matter the size of the pot. So this is how the cold frame looks like from the outside. It is a structure composed with aluminium and then filled with polycarbonate plates. These polycarbonate plates has air within them so that the inside environment stays as much as possible insulated. But it will not be 100%, but pretty close to, I will say, 60 to 70%. And that's enough for bonsai. This cold frame has a little gap in here, as you can see, from the top to the bottom. It is a quite big gap. That's because the cold frame, I can't make any holes on the wall here at my balcony, at my flat, and I'm not allowed to that. So that's why I have filled this gap with wood and then a paste attached to them and the wall of the flat, so that it is completely isolated from water falling with the rain, also from the top to the bottom. As we go inside, you can already hear my voice. It's a lot insulated in terms of the air getting inside, but I will also put a fan once I'm finished with it, so that the trees can have air circulation in this cold frame. It is very important. Yes, as I mentioned before, there is a gap here. As you can see, I filled it with wood and kind of a paste attached to the wall, and this keeps the frame insulated 100% from the water falling from the rain. And this is quite good to have that. It is all the way down to here. Getting the space that the trees need to stay through the winter, it is quite a challenge in this condition of space. But this is how it is, not only through the winter and the fall, but also on the other season of the years. As you can see, I keep the evergreen trees in the top of the cold frame, and then I keep the deciduous trees outside in the sun in the late winter, so that they don't get confused by the temperature that is a bit higher here than outside. So this is important to keep the trees. Also, another thing I have in this kind of a cold frame is like the wires here, and this is important because as I mentioned before, this floor is completely suspended in the air, so when it's really cold, the floor also gets really cold, and that's why I have this flamingo plates here in the bottom of the trees, and these wires only activate when the temperatures get below the freezing point. and this is a really good thing for the trees to not get frost in the soil through the mid part of the winter and the rest of the winter. We are in November, and the light is very scarce because of the cloud cover is it takes up a lot of light that could have been gone to the bonsai. That's why the ceiling is completely free of any cover other than the polycarbonate plates. When I get home, it is just beginning to be dark at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. That's why I have these lights, so I can see what I'm doing to the trees. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it, but it is very windy today. The structure is holding quite well. I'm very glad about that. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the bonsai balcony in the autumn season, and hopefully you can get a sense of what it means to set up a winter protection in a balcony the size of this one. But we will get into a very dark season now, in the winter season, and a cold one. So yeah, that was all from here, and see you in the next season.